is 2:33. Good afternoon. Welcome to the second episode of our very special Hot Topic segment On the Dish. My name is Ifunaya, and I'm going to do the introduction again for the sake of those who are just tuning in for the special Hot Topic segment. Okay. Ugoma is in the studio with me.
Hello, good afternoon.
Ayana.
Hello, Lagos.
And Kellyanne.
How you doing?
All right, guys, Valentine is coming.
Hey, where is your boyfriend?
Excuse me. What is that?
Oh my God, that's
Aren't we supposed to be like a posh show?
So guys, Valentine's Day is around the corner. It's on Sunday, the 14th of February, and we're definitely looking forward to it for several reasons. And in light of the
What are these
season,
several reasons that
She's
you're
gonna
looking
tell
forward
you.
to?
well, I mean, I'm assuming
tell
for you that you're looking forward to it for several reasons.
Oh yeah, because my show is on Sunday.
There you go.
I bought
What
myself
else?
a bottle of wine and a card.
I
Oh,
trust you.
nice.
I booked some small chops.
I trust you.
Self-love, baby.
And Ayana, is there anything you're expecting?
I don't know. I don't know what you guys are all about. I celebrate love every day.
I like that. Toot, toot. And Ugoma, are you expecting anything really?
I should. But
Guys, honestly, Valentine's Day is, I don't know what I'm expecting because my friend and I already pre-planned Valentine's Day because we just knew that, by this time, if we don't have boyfriends,
You know what, Lagos, let me tell you something. Don't trust any of these women here. Do not trust them.
Wow.
Don't listen to what they're saying right now.
What you speak of.
I promise you, we already pre-planned it saying that we're going to have like a girls' day out.
Teddy bear.
On your birthday now.
I thought you said Valentine's. Sorry,
Okay, do you want it on Valentine's Day?
Should I give me teddy bear?
Anywho, well, let's see what happens Valentine's Day. But getting into today's topic.
Yeah.
So, in conversation that we've had in times past, guys, you know that I'm single. I'm very proud of it. But
Are you ready
as a
to
single-
mingle? Are you ready to mingle?
I'm single and available to be sought after.
Okay, I like that. I actually like that. Single
Yeah.
and available to be sought after.
To be sought after.
By
yeah.
So I'm gonna put that
particular
up. I'm
people.
actually going to post that
Yes.
up. I like that.
Yeah, the right type of people. Anyways, but in conversation with people, you know, as single women, we get to meet, you know, guys that are interested.
All sorts of
And all sorts of men.
All sorts.
And one, you know, question that we know would be asked eventually is, what happened in your last relationship? Or why did your last relationship come to an end? Or why are you single? You know, why have you been single for such a long time? And the list goes on and on. But recently, you know, someone hit me with a twist to this type of question. And he asked me, he said, what did you do that caused your relationship to break up? And I was like, what are you talking about? Do I look like I did anything wrong? But then I thought about it and I was like, And I was being very honest. I was like, okay, you know, let's take a look at it from that angle. Hence the question for today.
Yeah.
What is that one thing that you've done in a relationship and you knew that it will eventually cost you the relationship? Now it could be in future. You know, maybe you thought, it might not do anything right now, but eventually it's going to cost me this relationship. Eventually it's going to cause one issue or the other. That is the question for today. Let's explore it. Would like to, you know, get your takes on that. But before getting into answering that question, guys, talking about what did you do? What did your partner do? There's a particular statement, so to speak, that I hear about relationships sometimes, and I want you guys to let me know if you think that is true. I've once heard that it takes just one person to make a relationship work.
Really?
I've heard that before. I've had instances where people advise and say, you know what, he just might not be doing what you want him to do at the moment. You know, he just might not be as in love with you, or she just might not be as in love with you as you are with her. But just keep it going, keep doing what you've been doing better things, and eventually she's going to or he's going to meet up with you. How true is that? Because I've heard this so many times. This is not just once, but several times where people say, it takes just one person to make a relationship work. So, ladies, what are your thoughts about this?
I think it's ludicrous.
Yeah.
It actually, well, I will not say it doesn't work for some people.
Yeah.
It actually works for some people, you know, but to me, it's like slavery. It's like sufferhead mentality.
Indeed.
Because life has enough struggles and challenges on its own.
Yeah.
Why are you now adding love that should be so beautiful and so pure to the struggle category? It doesn't make any sense to me. So no. But for some people though, it's that thing of the whole love somebody into loving you.
That is it.
That actually works for some people, and I don't know why, I don't know how, but I wouldn't recommend it.
That looks like a lot of work. Because I think the way relationships would work is both partners putting in some form of effort. It can't. Maybe someone probably puts in a whole lot more effort than the other, but not that somebody's just there waiting to be loved, and they're being loved. They're like, oh yeah, carry on, continue to love until I feel like loving you. Yeah, that's how it sounds. It makes sense. Until I feel like loving you.
Yeah.
So let's keep at it.
Or if
keep
I
at it.
decide that I can't find somebody better, then I guess I'll just, since
Settle
you're already
for you.
I'll
here.
just settle.
I'll settle for you.
Settle
Love.
for it. What about you, Guma? Do you think it takes just one person to make a relationship work?
No, I kind of like disagree with that narrative. And the reason for that is because when we talk about love or relationship, I mean, if you get to understand what love is, I think one thing I can, identify is that love isn't selfish. So if you expect one person to be putting in the effort, one person to be loving, I think that's being selfish, right? And you are shortchanging yourself, because at the end of the day, when you talk about relationship, it has to be a service thing. I'm giving, you're giving.
verb.
I'm doing things, you're doing things. You're putting in the effort. So it has to come from both angles, not just one person, because one person at the end of the day is going to feel cheated when you're the one doing everything. So I think that it has to be on the foundation of service.
Yeah, I like that. But there are times where your relationship goes through its rocky moments. There are periods when you're so in love, and then there are periods where you're just going through the motions, especially when you're in marriage, because a lot of times we might have to separate it, marriage, relationships, because some people might say, well, there are decisions that you make that are much easier when it's in a relationship than when it's in a marriage, especially when you now start having children. And so in an instance where, especially in marriage, where you are going through that phase where you know that this person literally acts as if he or she have fallen out of love for you, with you rather, and then you're torn between, but they say, love is patient. They say love goes beyond the good. They say love loves the unlovable. Love loves beyond, above and beyond. And in that instance, what would you say, when a woman or a man decides to just keep going, even if he knows or even if she knows that love that they once felt, that love and that connection that they once felt is nowhere to be found?
The fundamental, like you rightly highlighted, there was love once. You don't know, it could be external factors, it could be whatever reasons that the person may seem to be tired of loving. But because at some point in your relationship, love has always been the basis, you're like, what? Let me give this person, love is patient. I love 1 Corinthians 13, actually. That's one of my favorite Bible verses because it has to do with love, obviously. And then the way it states it and all of that. So don't forget that you were working from something. It's not like there was nothing. It wasn't like it was a blank canvas. There was love on the table at first. It could be stress. It could be anything. And then you're like, what? Let me give my guy or my woman a chance. Let me carry this burden for this period. But guess what? You can only carry it for so long. Hence the reason why people divorce each other.
Yes.
And I've actually heard this before. I've forgotten where I heard it, that in the course of a long-standing relationship or a marriage, there will be times when one person, that is like a cycle. It might be the husband that will be loving more in this season. It might be the wife that will be loving more in another season.
Stuff like that as well.
And then sometimes both of them have the same level of love, but it always just changes. Sometimes one person's love is more than the other. That's, I don't know. That's what I heard.
This is coming from Zook Radio on Twitter saying, I know of one person who holds the friendship more. But it takes one person to make the relationship work. If the effort is not mutual, then we can as well just bounce. I don't have the monopoly of emotions. Lest I hurt myself in
like that.
the long
I
run.
think even in
have
a
the
friendship, Seth,
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, there has to be a
realize that
balance,
you're the person
so-
that's always checking up on this person,
There has to
always
be a
going to
balance.
always after a while, you'll be like, come on, you
Yeah.
can't be giving and not getting,
True.
and
Of course.
still
Very
be
true.
there.
Very
Yeah.
true.
All right, guys, you can join the conversation 0809 234 5913, 0809 222 0913, 0809 191 3913. On Twitter, it's at Lagos Talks 913 using the hashtag The Dish Lagos.
Lagos.
By the way, we're live on Instagram at Lagos Talks 913. Go check it out.
Which ones?
So I'm
Sorry,
also
sorry.
live on my Instagram at Ify_I. That's IFY_I. So go check it out. We're all in the studio. Take a look at us in all our glory.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you want to send a WhatsApp message as well, 0809 234 5913. This is coming from us saying at every point in time, in every relationship, it takes one person to make it work. It's never 50-50 commitment. And it flips. So for a certain season, it might be the guy, and for another season, it might be the lady. You grow into people. Let's take this call. Lagos Talks, good afternoon. Who's speaking, please?
Good afternoon. Have Ebuka on the line. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Ebuka. Welcome.
Yeah, okay. This very topic to me, generally speaking, because I've not had personal experience, sure. But my general sense towards this is person's mentality, mindset you get. Because if you have the mindset of taking and not giving in, I think it will fail in that relationship. Then again, readiness to make that relationship work.
Of
you
course.
see, because if you are not, you will be as if you are just come and go, right? So understanding the Amos 33 says something, can two work together if they do not agree? So
That's
that
true.
agreement should be there, and the decisions and every other thing. That is it. Thank you.
And yet, Ebuka has
you
no
very much.
experience.
This is coming from a listener saying, Ify, I've been loving this babe for like 3 years now. She broke up with me saying she needed some time out. But it's been 2 years now. We still talk. We still hang out. I really love her. But trust me, it's frustrating sometimes. Sometimes it feels like I'm stuck. Other times I feel like moving on. Which I will never do because I still love her.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well,
Then perhaps you need to let her know that, look, this thing,
God
you
help me
guys need
there.
to define what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because you can't keep, to me, I think that thing is bondage. You know, you clearly know that this person
That's the word.
is not trying to define things with you, but you're still there. It's hard to walk away from somebody that you really care about. But at the end of the day, you need to love yourself more.
I like that. And I feel like we get feedback every day through different things, through verbal and non-verbal cues.
Yeah.
The way someone treats you is feedback. The way someone responds to you or lack thereof is feedback. And so if you're in a case where it seems like it's more you in a relationship than you and her, that is feedback to let you know where she stands already. And so we might not be the ones to give you, the bitter truth, but I believe, like Kel said, you should love yourself more
Yes,
and
it's
make
a
a
long time.
better
Talk
decision.
to her. Let
for
her know
yourself.
what you want. And if she's not down for it,
Of course,
do yourself a favor.
certainly.
Take a walk.
All right, guys. Just still in line with, does it take just one person to make it work? And, how long, does it take for that love to then maybe normalize? I want to know how long, like, what is the stretch? Because we've established that in different seasons, it might be unequal. You'd have a partner that is more committed or more in love or more out of love, whatever the case might be. But in a case where someone knows that clearly my partner is acting like they have fallen out of love with me, how long should they keep stretching this, or it takes one person to make it work? Is there a period in time, or is there a particular cue that they should look out for that makes them know that, it's finally over, that you carrying on with this love for this person would never mean that he or she would love you again, and it will never go back to what it was before? So how long would you say someone should wait?
I don't think you can put a timeline on it. I think it differs from person to person.
yeah.
So you as a person, you know what you can take, and you know how far you can stretch this. I will carry our love, and then you also know the person you're with. You know if this is a seasonal thing, or you know if this is a permanent thing. But I will always say communication is key. When it seems like, look, you've been doing this for long enough or whatever, have a conversation with your partner and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
We all have our breaking limits. What would break me at a particular time probably wouldn't break Kel at a particular time. So,
That's so true.
and then because the person is your partner, they establish things on ground, and then you know when the person, it's like a no turning back thing for the person. Some people would hang on for years. Some people, it's just a matter of months. They're like, you know what, I'm out. I can't deal with this any longer. So really, like you guys have said, it's it differs with each individual. We all have our elasticity point, so to speak, before it snaps. Pow.
All right, this is from Jaja saying she developed a habit of not picking up my calls promptly. And this happened for so long without me confronting her about it. The only time I decided to retaliate by not picking up her call promptly, she had the guts to ask me why I didn't pick up on time. I hate to break up, but I'm not wary of breaking up when necessary. And I never ever make up. It's always better to start a fresh relationship. Taiwo is saying, hi, ladies. What I did wrong that I knew would cost me my relationship is my lack of communication. I can go a week without calling him. And even when he has issues, rather than communicate, I will just bottle it up. And at a time or at a point, the love felt one-sided on his side. This did end the relationship late last year. I miss him so much, but I'm working on my communication skills by reading and listening to messages and podcasts. And I really hope to be better in my next relationship. And I really hope you also practice that in your friendships as well.
I've seen this thing on Twitter before where people say, oh, if you're in a relationship with somebody, must you talk to them every day? And that thing sounds so weird to me.
It is actually quite weird, because if we're in a relationship, then what the hell are we doing?
Exactly.
We should schedule business meetings every 2 to 3 weeks.
What are we doing?
And I feel like there should be a friendship, an actual likeness for that person
and
that leads to wanting you to speak,
it shouldn't
communicate,
even be
spend
like
time with the person.
an obligation. It should just
Exactly.
be free flowing. Like you just want to wake up and talk to this person.
Exactly.
Something happens, you just want to gist this person about it.
Listen,
like
when a guy told me that he had to schedule calling me, that's when I knew that was it. You know, because some people were trying to convince me.
I'm not the one.
Yeah, no. Some people were trying to convince me, saying, "Well, it means it prioritizes you." I said, "Listen,
wow,
listen. If you have to schedule to call me, I'm not the one for you." And so, yeah, it should be somewhat seamless, it should be somewhat effortless, where you just want to actually like the person that you're dating. So, ladies, let's get into the question for today. The question is this, in case you're just tuning in: what is that one thing or two things or three things that you did in a relationship and you knew it was going to cost you that relationship? Let us know what it was that you did. Even if it cost you the relationship 2 years later or 3 years later, tell us what you did. Be honest. Say it with your chest. You can join the conversation via Twitter at Lagos Talks 913 using the hashtag #TheDishLagos. You can call 0809 234 5913, 0809 222 0913, 0809 191 3913. You could also call 01 515 0913, 01 515 1913. Let's take this. Lagos Talks.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Who's speaking?
Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Val.
Val.
Hi, Val.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
For me, mine was linked to a big promise.
Sorry, can you speak louder? I can barely hear you.
I said mine was failing to make a promise.
Okay. Would you like to share that promise with us, or would you just like to keep it
life
alive?
and death
Was
thing?
a promise of marriage. Yeah. Promise of marriage. Yeah, but my principle is I don't make promises. I only assure. Okay, because as human nature is, you can change at any time. So I was put under the pressure of making a promise at that particular point in time, and I could remember many years back when my dad advised us not to make promises to leave, because most times if you don't keep them, it becomes a problem. Okay, so I adopted that principle. Although I gave her the assurance that let's talk while we'll get back from after the burial and all that, let's get back. She lost the mom. So I said, let's come back and then discuss. Okay, right now we're under pressure. But she kept insisting, promise. And I said, I can't promise anything now, but I can assure you that I'll do this or I'll do that, but I can't make any promise.
Okay.
So, but that was just the bottom line here.
All right. Thank you very much for your honesty. Yeah. But you know what? If a man knows that he might not be able to at a point, commit to the desire of the woman, and for a lot of women, maybe not all women, they probably would like to spend the rest of their lives with their current partners. And so if a man doesn't make a promise because he knows that there's a possibility that he might not be able to commit to it, does that make it wrong? Even if he still wants to be in the relationship at the time.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I don't understand what
I
you
said
said.
if a man
Because I'm like rolling in my head.
Wait, what?
So I said if a man decides not to make a promise because he knows that he might not commit to it, does that make it wrong if he doesn't make the promise but still wants to be in the relationship?
Well, he's being honest, and I think honesty goes a long way.
Yes,
Let's
it
see how
does.
it goes. It doesn't always have to end in marriage or, and that's what, and that's even people my age, and that's a mistake a whole lot of women make. You enter into a relationship with the end in mind already. Sometimes the dynamics doesn't even lend itself to that kind of thing. So you've already got it warped at the beginning. So I guess if he's being honest by saying like, oh, I want to get married, I'm like, look, babe, I'm not ready for marriage now. Let's just should we go with the flow and all of that? That stuff. It's hard.
I don't think it's wrong, but I would say that it then falls on the woman to then make a decision.
Yeah.
Because a man can say, oh, I really love you. I want this relationship to work. However, I'm not ready. Then if you're a woman and you want marriage and this is something that you're working towards, you should leave that relationship and meet someone who's going to give you exactly what you want.
I like that.
So
I
I think
actually do
that's
like
it.
that. And I feel like you should always be on the same page as the person, even from the beginning, because, we've grown to know that we have to ask the difficult or the uncomfortable questions sometimes at the beginning, because what you want to avoid is time wasting. And so sometimes people, under the guise of let's see how it works, carry on coasting because they don't want to,
Yeah.
they don't want to chase him away or they don't want to scare him. No, ask the question.
Yeah.
So that you'll be on the same page, so that if this is not what he wants, which is okay if he doesn't want it, you'll be able to make that decision there and then, like Ugoma said.
For instance,
Okay.
a guy who's like divorced, may not even be anything recent, and probably has made up his mind that look, it's just me and the children and whichever woman I'm seeing. And then you get into this relationship, he's covered all the bases you want, but this person has told you marriage is the last thing
In my mind.
I just want to be companions with someone, but yet you're still at that other end praying, fasting for marriage, when the person has told you clearly that it's me and my kids, and whichever other woman can fall into line with us, but I'm definitely not walking down that aisle again.
I think the mistake a lot of women make is that when the guy says, "Oh, I'm not ready for marriage," they think they can be the one to change his mind.
Not change an adult.
And they're like, let me just show him how much of an addition I would be to his life, or how much of
he would
an advantage,
realize.
we would be together as a couple forever. And so they just put all their effort and all their energy into something that has already clearly been stated. This is not what I want.
Okay. All right, ladies, let's get into the question. Ugoma, let's start with you. What is that one
She's an
thing
angel.
that you did? Or two things. You can release the list for us. So let us know what it is that you did that you knew that was going to cost you your relationship eventually.
I disagree with what I'm going to say. And the reason why I do disagree is because it was my first boyfriend that did mention that these are the things that I usually do in the relationship. And that was what ruined the relationship based on his side.
But you
And-
disagree with it.
Okay, so tell us what
This
these
is
things
still
are.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So he said that I'm not flexible and I'm not accommodating. That I usually like everything to be based on my terms. But I disagree. I'm just like, is this who I am? But yeah, so the relationship didn't work. And I think that partly was because I wasn't in Nigeria. He was based in Nigeria and I was in UK. So we're trying to make the relationship up, but I knew that it wasn't going to work. So I had to end the relationship. But yeah, these are the few things that he did mention that was what
still
ruined the
disagree.
relationship.
And she said,
my second relationship, I think what happened was distant relationship. He was based in London and I was based in Manchester.
Okay.
And he didn't take me seriously. So I was like, I'm not going to waste my time. So I think we had a verbal altercation where I was just like, nah, it's not going to happen. So I ended the relationship and he wanted me back. And I'm just like, it's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to take me seriously at the end of the day. And I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
So the things that, this guy have said was like, oh, I'm not flexible. I don't accommodate people. Everything has to be on my terms. Well, I beg to differ.
I like that with so much confidence. Kel, I'd like to hear from you.
I can't really relate though. Because I can't think of anything that I've done that has ended a relationship.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there was one. I think. Oh yes, there was one. So we were dating, and then there was a friend of mine, or an old flame of mine,
Old flame.
that I still used to be comfy with or whatever. And then this person I was dating asked me about that person, and I was like, no, nothing happened. We just cool. Then I eventually one day me said now open my mouth to say, oh, when me and this person blah blah blah. He's like, but I thought you said. I said, So after that day, like he according to him, he said he wasn't really comfortable with it and blah blah blah. And I said, okay, no problem.
Maybe just they go.
So yeah, I think that was it for me.
Yeah. All right, Ayana.
What?
Ayana.
What are you guys on about? Okay, actually, this was very intentional, and it's this had to do with someone I was seeing at that particular point in time, and the truth is, I think I fell out of love.
Oh wow.
Things that he'd do would, just tick you off or tick me off rather, and then at some point I just realized that we could not continue, and I called, we sat down, hashed it out and everything, and he's got a very jealous streak. Very, very jealous streak. So he was like, no, we can walk over these things you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But me, my mind had advocated this relationship already.
Hey.
And then he came on so strong, his sisters I'm like, no, how do I do this? And then he had this particular sister who had like major respect for, and she'd also helped me through a whole lot of work situations. So I just thought, how do I get this guy off my back without actually breaking the dynamics of that other relationship?
Yes.
So knowing fully well that he had a very jealous streak, I started making it seem as if I was interested in someone who he just assumed was like friends with.
Yeah.
And I insinuated a lot of things intentionally, which were not even true. God, I hope the other person. I did I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. I did a whole lot of things then that, from his own end, he would be like, so afterwards, I like, look, what's going on? I said, look, I'm out of it. I'm not interested any longer. And you keep coming back, and you don't want to take no for an answer. So I decided to move on with somebody who didn't know I was moving on with him. So yeah, that was a really bad one I did. Yeah. But usually what I do sometimes when I want these things to end, I clam up in terms of communication.
Oh yeah.
I just
begin to withdraw.
You send those messages. I can hang for like a day or two. Like, this is somebody who, if she's with her phone, I would reply immediately. So I just climb up. It's not a good thing though, but hey.
Yeah. Why do you prefer to climb up instead of just telling the person, look, this thing is not working no more?
Some people just don't read the room. They don't read the tea leaves because sometimes it's obvious to all parties involved. But there's no point.
Yeah, true.
But they will still want to carry on.
That's quite interesting.
I'm not a bad person.
You're not a bad person. I feel like this is how some people communicate as well. They're used to doing that. What did I do? So I'll probably say for my last relationship, one thing that I did that I knew was going to cost me the relationship eventually, because there was a period where, how you're in a relationship and you're thinking, could this be it? Is this it? Are you sure this is it? Are you sure this is not it? And, and that was what was going on, coupled with some other issues that we might have been having at the time. But I will just call for a break. I'm just like, I'm not doing this again. I need my space. did it first time. And he's like, okay, I'll give you your space. But the thing about him, which I did like as well, was he was like, no. We're going to talk about what is wrong. You can't just say, give me your space. Like, if we're married, I'm just going to say, give me your space. Let us know what's, let me know what's going on. But I did this again, asking for a break. And I knew that there would be a time that I would probably ask for a break and we probably would not get back into the relationship at the time, So mine was just asking for like weird breaks. I feel like what I should have done, which was going to have been a service for both of us, was to, from the onset, if I wasn't sure, I should have said, you know what, I'm not really
some
sure.
people don't take no for like my person
There
would
you
not
go.
take no for an
Exactly.
answer.
So I probably should have said at the point, you know what, I'm not really sure. This can go on. So maybe we should just call it quits. In retrospect. But at the time, I didn't really know what to do with it. You know how you're just like, you're thinking. And especially when you now have people advising you, say, not all relationships are, all rosy.
You have your bad patches.
Yeah, exactly. So it seemed like, okay, this is an expected normal. These are some of the things that I should be expecting. And so if I'm seeing this, does it mean I should say I don't want to do again? So I feel like I just kept on lingering and lingering and lingering. And I knew that eventually it will come to a point where, I can't just, because you just can't be asking for random breaks. It's either or. You either do it or you're not doing it. So I feel like that's what I did.
2 breaks.
Yeah, 2 breaks. Yeah. And the last one is like, it just didn't come back. And the previous relationship as well, I'm not really sure. I feel like what happened was immaturity. There are times where, especially that being my first relationship, I feel like I was thrust into a lot of love. You know how there's just a lot of intensity in the love. And if anything happened, it's like, oh my goodness, did he just wink at the other girl, or did he just use doubt to, did he just use doubt to look at the other person?
Okay.
So there was a lot of intensity at the time. And so when we were having issues, I did not know how to handle it best. In retrospect, because I am more mature, I feel like there's certain things that I would have allowed slide. Because at the end of the day, we make our mistakes, and there's a specific, weird thing that happened that wasn't necessarily a thing. You know how someone is maybe talking to someone and you begin thinking, are you emotionally cheating or are you actually cheating? And you end up, finding out nothing happened. But the fact that it actually seemed like it was happening, it was a problem for me. Do you get it? And so at the time, I did not know how to communicate best because I was like, I don't know what to do with this. But yeah, these are some of the things. And at the end of the day, I feel like with relationships, what's good is you always have to learn from every relationship that you're in. I feel like you get to know yourself more. You get to know more of what you like and what you do not like. And when you get to meet more people, I feel like people usually say that as you get older, it seems like you're more irritable with relationships.
Yes.
It's like,
I agree.
I think another thing.
I agree.
Another thing is that you become less tolerant.
Yes. Tolerance for nonsense is
It's almost zero
it's like,
now.
I'm not going to accept this.
It's just
Discuss.
you just be like, no, I can't take it.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
no,
Roll your
she's
eyes
like
and
me.
move on.
Indeed. All right, guys, let's take this one. This is coming from us saying, when to back out of a relationship is when every little thing that you do upsets the person. But in a marriage, I'm sorry, there's no backing out, is what Ose has said. This is coming from Olushe saying, love in a relationship should never be one-sided. The graph might shift at a point, but even some effort should be seen from the other person. There should be some kind of meet you halfway attitude. Not that you leave your partner hanging and alone in the relationship. I don't even know what I'm saying again.
Well, you made a lot of sense. Person made a lot of sense, actually.
I don't know all right, let's take this. Lagos Talks. Good afternoon. Who's speaking? All right, lost that. 0809-234-5913. By the way, the question is, what is that thing that you did in a relationship that you knew was going to cost you the relationship? What's that thing that you did that you knew ended your relationship of 2 years, 2 months, 5 years, whatever the case might have been? 0809-234-5913. 0809-222-0913. 0809-191-3913. You could also call 01-515-0913. 015151913. Lagos Talks, good afternoon. Who's speaking? Okay, we're having a couple of dropped calls. Not really sure what's going on. I'll go over the phone lines again. In case you're having issues calling one of the phone lines, call the other. 0809-234-5913. 0809-222-0913. 015150913, 015151913. This is coming from a listener saying, Ayana, just like Kel said of friendship, it goes both ways. People's experiences have taught me. Remember when you said Tebuka, you said you don't have an experience, but you know
I was just kidding, actually.
Alrighty.
You don't actually have to have experienced it.
Okay, it's
about
9
it.
minutes past 3. We're going to be wrapping this up right here, right now, talking about what you did in a relationship that you knew was going to cost you that relationship. Wrapping up, ladies, what would you advise moving forward, especially for those people who want to ensure that the relationship that they're in at the moment, they do everything that is within their power to make sure that it works? Because no one wants to start telling stories about, oh, this is what I did that ended the relationship. So what are we going to advise people listening?
Be true, be you to yourself, be true to yourself, basically. If you've discussed this thing at length with your partner and you're still not finding self-satisfaction or whatever it is that you're looking for in that relationship, cut your losses and move on. And do it in such a way that, well, except maybe it's a situation of abuse or whatever, or, some kind of whatever. It's always best to not burn bridges. It's very, very important not to burn bridges. Just because you're no longer with this person doesn't mean that other even business relationships can't even develop from there or whatever, but except the person's a monster, either way, whether male or female. Don't try not to burn bridges when you end these relationships, if you decide to end them.
Kellyanne?
That's my dog.
I always say communication is king and key, so communicate. There's nothing that communication can't, fix. Because last, you just said, I don't want to do it again. They will have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And even if they are trying to get other people to say, oh, but this or that, but you tell them, did I tell you I don't want to do it again? I told you. So what are we having this conversation for? So it saves a lot of time, energy, effort, stress.
Oh my goodness.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So I will always just vote for open, honest, proper communication.
Absolutely.
I like that. And Ugoma.
I think as Ayana and Kel, they've mentioned a very valid point. So I think that what I would advise is how you start a relationship oftentimes sustains a relationship. So it's very important for you to have boundaries and self-respect because these two things are very important in that relationship. Yeah.
I like that. And what I'm going to say is this. In a relationship, no matter how young your relationship is and no matter how old your relationship is, learn your partner's love language. Try not to love someone with your love language, because I believe that is our default mechanism, where we just automatically believe that if we love quality time, then our partner must love quality time. Or if we love acts of services, then our partner must love acts of services. And that might not be the case. Therein lies a disconnect that could cause a little bit of frustration, that could cause a little bit of miscommunication, that could then lead to the deterioration of your relationship. Learn your love languages. When you're able to learn about love languages, you would be able to love your partner more. You would be able to love your partner well. And most especially, you would be able to love your partner the way they want to be loved. And I believe that is a key area that sustains your relationship. You could just Google love languages. There's an actual test that you take and it lets you know what your love language is. And your partner should take his or her love language as well. So that both of you can come to terms with understanding that, oh, no wonder when I do this for you, you don't seem so excited. And I'm thinking, after I finish doing this for you, I feel like that would definitely help foster a stronger bond between you and your partner. It's 12 minutes past 3. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of our special Hot Topic segment, Valentine's Day edition today.
What is
Ladies,
that?
thank you so much for coming. See, Ayana, if you go out Valentine's Day,
I'm not going anywhere. I'm sleeping. I'm working on Saturday.
if I hear. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming through. Ladies, you've not dropped your information yet, have you? No.
On Twitter and on Instagram, you can follow me on at Ayana Bijou. That's AYANABIJOUX. On Facebook at Ayana Bijou. 2 words, Ayana Bijou. Cheers.
Kel online, Twitter, Instagram, and that's it. Have an amazing Wednesday.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Ugoma_A. That is UGONMA_A. Yep.
Alrighty, guys, you can reach out to me on Instagram and on Twitter at Ify_I. That is IFY_I. Now, in case you get to watch this video after the show, ensure that you drop a comment because this is definitely an ongoing conversation. Valentine's Day is not until Sunday, so we're going to be talking about love. So drop a comment if you're on YouTube. Ensure that you like, you share, you subscribe, and you comment as well. And if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram as well, join the conversation. Let us know. Even if we're not able to read it out today, let us know what that one thing you did that cost you your relationship was. We'll definitely love to hear from you. All right, it is 14 minutes past 3. The midday show isn't over yet. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Yes, follow Lagos Talks at Lagos Talks 913 on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.